Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're just seeing my face for the very first time, hi, my name is Adora and you're watching Life with Ada Beke. Please be sure to make sure to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And for my OGs, welcome and thank you guys for continuing to grow this channel. I truly appreciate it. As you all may know, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and my 4,000 watch hours. So please watch this video to the end, and please be sure to watch some of my other videos and play my playlist if you're interested. You know I would really appreciate. But okay, let's get into today's issue. Today's own, you know how people be like, they've been demanding. People have actually been demanding this one. Like, I don't know why people are, no, I don't know. I do know why people want to see what your application look like, and I understand because when I was in that situation, I also wanted to know, like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? And seeing a successful application does help. It does help to understand what you're doing. So in today's video, I'm going to be revealing it all with a caveat. I will not be sharing most of my personal statement, and that's because it's really personal, and I don't feel like you would gain anything from reading it other than knowing too many intimate things about my life that I don't think I'm really ready to share. However, I will share the end of it so that you will, just because it didn't contain too much personal stuff, but at least you'll be able to understand a little bit of my writing style. But other than that, I kind of blanked out any other personal information, both mine and from like my letter writers or people from my description. But other than that, I'm sharing everything else. Yes, you guys will be able to see my application. You see the application that got me into medical school. However, if you want to see the application that did not get me into medical school, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you want to see what a bad application looks like, especially after seeing what at least a successful application looks like. Let me know in the comments and I will definitely share that with you guys. Though that one is like a little harder to share, but I don't mind sharing. But if you want to see the successful one that got me into medical school, stay ready and stay tuned. And please watch till the end, okay? Thank you. Watch till the end. So, as you guys can see on here, I'll start from, let's say it's not the most important thing, but it's a very important thing to note in my application. I submitted on June 8th, 2020, which, if I remember, was a week or so after the application opened to be able to, for you to be able to submit. I think you could start submitting from like May 29th or something, and I submitted June 8th, so that's like about a week. But I didn't get processed till almost a month later, which is August 3rd. And I'll say my thing was unique, or our thing was unique generally, because I was part of the pandemic cohort, as you guys know, and so everything was delayed. People, schools were not in office, so trying to get transcripts sent out was crazy. AAMC people, I don't know whether they were just slow about processing transcripts, but it took me 2 months to get my application and stuff processed, and part of what was like transcript delay from my school, even though I ordered my transcripts like since early May or late April. I know I ordered my transcript pretty early, but it took so long for my transcripts to get there, and then so long, like 2 months, even though I did it a week after. It took 2 months for my application to get processed. We thank God I still made it in, but that was like, it gave me so much anxiety because like it was like, why did it take so long? But as you guys can also see here, you can see my name. I was born in Onitsha, Nigeria. What up? If you're from Onitsha, say hi, holla. What else is there? You can see I blocked out my address. So this is just like regular contact information, all that stuff. There's nothing really interesting here. It's just all these things that you would normally fill out for yourself. So another thing is I speak Igbo. I speak another language, so that was also there. So please make sure to put any other languages that you speak. Then I clicked yes for disadvantaged status, and I wrote a little essay. So I wrote what you realize is that most of any writing thing they told us to write, I wrote it as a story. I usually shared a story. Like in this one, I shared a story about how my family, where we grew up, and how, you know, healthcare expenses, like anybody that knows Nigeria, everything is out of pocket. So I grew up, and a lot of times, like, no matter how, you had to be very, very sick to go to the hospital, because like nobody would just take you to the hospital for anything, because who's gonna pay for that? So, you know, that was something I wrote about, and how that connected with like my coming to America and just like marginalized communities, and how that like affected what the kind of work I want to do when I become a physician. Then more information about your parents and all of that. I don't think that's important, but ergo the ones that you would like to see. My GPA. So when I first came to college, I felt like, you know, I feel like I was a good student in college. Like I was maybe a B plus student. I think that's what I'll give myself. I think I was a mostly B plus student, B plus A minus ish. I did well for the most part. You can see I got like a B in calculus, B plus in math has never been my strong suit. So the fact that I even got B in this math, aka Jehovah nemema. Yep. Then more B pluses in math, some B's in bio, B plus in OChem. So I think for the most part, yeah, I got B minus in bio too. I usually, anything that required like animals and things, I not used to do that well. But I'll say like the lowest grade I got was this B minus, and another B minus I got some. So I got 2 B minuses. But everything else, I would say like, you know, I got mostly A's. I got a lot of B's, B pluses and B minuses. But I don't know. I think I did okay. I think my grades were okay. They were not like stellar. They were not like, oh my God, flying colors. But I think I did okay, which is evidenced here. But as you see, like my overall GPA, like my all other GPAs were pretty good. Like it was mostly like 3.8, 3.8, 3.8. My senior year, I don't even know what happened. I was just not paying attention. Don't be like me. You want to show an upward trend. Don't be like me and have like a slightly, I don't even know what this trend is, whether it's slightly downward or what I'm this trend. But yeah, like sophomore year, I kind of struggled a little bit for reasons I don't want to share. So, and that was reflected in my grades. I did try to pick it back up in junior year and, you know, senior year as well. But I'll say one thing I always hear about grades is just, you know, you want that upward trend. You want that upward trend. And my graduate you guys know I did my master's in public health. So my graduate GPA also showed up here as well. So if you do a post back, and I'm going to do another video about this, but if you do a post back, your post back goes into your undergraduate GPA. So post backs usually help to improve your undergraduate GPA. If you do a graduate program like I did, like a regular master's or a special master's program, that does not improve your GPA. What it improves, that does not improve your undergraduate GPA. It just shows another GPA, which you can see in mine. So you see my cumulative undergraduate GPA, which is one thing, and then my graduate GPA is separate. Then for my MCAT score down here, you guys already know I got a 512 on the MCAT. I don't know if I ever shared, like, yeah, but this was my score breakdown: 127, 127, 127, then 131. Like psych soc, I think it's because like I was a psych minor, and public health really helped me in those sections. But what you also see is my 499 the very first time I took the MCAT. So all these things, they show up, you know, they're going to see every single time you've taken the MCAT, they're going to be able to see. So that's why if you took the MCAT once and you want to take it again, you need to do way better. Like, you want to actually do better. If you got like a 505 and then you go and get a 508, that doesn't look as good as just having your 505. Honestly, I don't know, maybe somebody else might have another advice, but like, I just feel like it doesn't look as good. It just doesn't. Like, maybe if you did way better, yeah, but if there was not much improvement, then it just, one, is a waste of money, kind of feels like a waste of time, and then it just looks like you didn't recognize your mistakes and work on them. No other tests. Then my experiences. So for some of you that know, I was a doula, and one thing you'll notice is that I have a lot of hours for a lot of things that I did. And again, remember, I'm a non-traditional student, and I did a lot of things for at least 1 year. Most things I did for 2 years. So I want to encourage you guys, if you're applying, right? I know some people stress over like how many hours. Believe me, if you've been doing something for 1 year or 2 years, you've probably gotten more hours than you think. And that's why, like, you want to be able to show that you've been, it's not just, oh, I did this, I did that, I did, at least like shows a certain level of commitment to whatever it is that you did. So I'm going to just touch on like I'm not going to go into all these experiences in depth, but you see in like my most meaningful, being a doula was obviously one of my most meaningful experiences. I had over 500 hours as a doula. So, and this was something I did like part-time. So I wrote a story about like one of my clients, and I just went into detail. So like, for your most meaningful experiences, you have like an experience description initially, like you would have for everything. Then you get like an additional, maybe 1,000 or 1,300 words or thereabout, to be able to speak more about why that experience was meaningful to you. And you see that in everything, I just, I did use stories. I used stories to tell my story. I used stories to share what any experience meant to me, and always brought it back to why medicine. Why is this experience, like, why do I feel like this experience is preparing me for something in medical school? Like you see here, I said, being able to support my clients with various needs, as well as educating and reassuring them about their pregnancy and postpartum concerns, continues to be some of the most rewarding elements of my work at GPA. So I'm just like tying, like, what did you learn? At the end of the day, you always want to say, what did you do? And what did you learn? Like, how, what did you do? What did you learn? And how does that connect to medicine? I really feel like that was what I was, whenever I was writing my descriptions, that's what I was going for. What did you do? What did you learn? How did it connect to medicine? So then also I worked as a graduate research assistant. I talked a little bit about that, but it was not one of my most meaningful experiences. And you can see I got a lot of hours doing it because I did it a lot. Like, I did it for like 2 years. Then also, this was another one of my most meaningful. I worked as an Test intern. I traveled. I was in Lagos all summer, and so I talked about it. I'll share the last sentence I wrote. I said, my internship experience taught me the importance of addressing various biases as healthcare providers. It also allowed me to have a better understanding of the role that various social determinants of health play in an individual's ability to receive adequate care. So that's really what I learned. What did I learn? Like, how did this, and I guess how does it tie back into medicine, like social determinants of health and all of that. My public health background. So another thing was another one of my most meaningful experiences. So I was one of the co-founders of our African Students Association in my undergrad, and that was really one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. I talked about what made me found it, and at the end I said, creating ASA allowed me to bring together various African students across campus, educate the wider campus community about issues affecting Africa and Africans, share our rich heritage with each other, and network with other young Africans from different schools. This opportunity allowed me to feel a need on my campus, and I hope to continue addressing broader health needs for my community. So I talked about what I learned, talked about what I did, talked about what I learned, and then, what I hope to do in the future with all those things. So you can see some of the other things I have on here. One thing I'll say is track. If you are part of the people using maps, I think Dr. Gray has this whole thing mapped. They're able to, like, there are ways to enter in all your things, like, so you can track the dates, and you can even, like, jot down things things that you're learning, so that when it's time to write these experiences, you don't have to like think so hard like I did. You can actually remember things like because you journaled it, but you can also just do that on your own as well. So I also had like my paid employment because I worked in school. So a lot of this, I was a tutor. I wrote about that. I was like the co-lead for the diversity dance on campus. I wrote about that as well. Here with physician shadowing, I shadowed different people, but I only put like, because you can only put like one person contact, so I put like the physician who ended up giving me my letter of recommendation. So I only put her information, but I did like, because you can input different dates when you did like different shadowing things. I did put that, and I like here you see I also shadowed Dr. Iwamadi in Nigeria and Dr. Caldwell. So I mentioned those things. Then I was an INR person at the Women's Cancer Research Center in Berkeley. I talked about that. I did some undergraduate research. I talked about that. And I also, because I didn't have any space, because there's a space like there's usually you can put publications, but because I had maxed out on my 15, I just put my actual publication poster or presentation, whatever you can put. So I just put that in here. And then I actually talked about my blog. You guys know I wasn't doing YouTube at that time, but if I was, I'd have talked about YouTube as well, because that's something that's important to me. But I do run my blog, and I talked about that. I wrote about how I have a blog, and I wrote about it. I talk about what I've learned and what I do through my blog. Other things, and then I put an award that I received. Yeah. So, and then I was a peer health educator. So the point is, you want to make sure that you're kind of keeping track of what you're doing, and don't be scared. As long as you're doing things and you're doing things that you love, it will be easy to write about those things that you're doing. Then, I didn't really do, I said I wasn't going to talk about my personal statement, but here is the end of the personal statement, and I want to read it out to you so that you can kind of have an idea of the things I mentioned in my personal statement, or like how I ended it, like what my writing style for my personal statement was. So I said, Reverend Tracy Blackmon, a social justice activist in Ferguson, once said, "The intersection between healthcare and justice is healing. As a physician, I want to establish a health center that will service the primary care needs of my community members in Nigeria. I hope to provide support for patients, to listen and understand how various determinants of health affect their interaction with the health system. I hope to be an advocate for my community, to educate members of my community and those outside of it about the issues they face and provide solutions to the problems. I hope to be an agent of healing, one who can understand that intersection between healthcare and justice and do my best to work in it." So, like, I thought that was cool. It was a cool way for me to end my personal statement, and it really tied together a lot of themes I talked about in my personal statement. I'll just say, like, one thing is your personal statement should have, like, some kind of direction. You have your seed, how you watered it, and what you want to do eventually. And at the end of the day, you should be answering the question, why medicine? Not why not other professions, but why medicine? Why do you think that all these things you've done will make you a good candidate, you know, for medicine in general? So letters of reg. So some of the schools I applied to, as you can see, you guys know I'm a reapplicant, so I had applied to some of these schools before, and a lot of these schools, I'll just say, like, they were really hard to get into because one, as a reapplicant, two, they're just hard to get into, and then being international as well. But yeah, these are the schools I applied to. If you notice, I didn't really apply to a lot of public schools, and that's because a lot of public schools do cater to in-state applicants, so I'm not in-state anyway, as you can tell. But yeah, then yeah, so that's the end. But thank you guys so much for watching this far. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I really do hope that you watched this far. I hope you were able to get something from watching this video. I hope that this video, you know, like, it was useful for you. And at the end of the day, I hope that at the end of the day that you're able to, you know, take some tips that I've shared here, and that you're able to succeed in your medical career, and that you're able to get into medical school and then succeed in your medical career. But till the next time I post another video, please continue to watch my video, continue to share. Remember, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Please, so just watch everything, okay? Thank you very much. But till next time, bye. Mwah.